Is there a specific moment from the first season that you're just most proud of that made it into the show?
I quite liked our hug. I was quite nervous to do the hug just because that's obviously a lot for Wednesday, and she makes such a point of, like, you know, no touching. But it felt very satisfying to film, so,
Yeah.
you know, for the character and all that, so it was great.
It was palpable. First of all, to act opposite a pretty much unknown then on an international level, Jenna Ortega. It's like literally watching a flower bloom to the point where I forgot my lines once because I was so mesmerized by it.
I'd say the fencing scene was a pretty big one for me, especially because we got very little time to actually work on it together. And so we shot it very quickly, considering.
The first shot where Wednesday sees Fester for the first time, he takes off his hat. Her reaction is great. It sort of makes my part of it look good. You know, that her reaction is so real.
Jenna, Joy, Emma, thank you both. All three of you, sorry. I don't know why I said both. It's two of us, that's why. Thank you all so much for sharing your time with us today. We absolutely loved this season, and this show is so fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your being here.
Yeah, no, we're so happy to be here. We're from Canada. We just, again, it's just so amazing to see the show. And, you know, for all three of you, I was going to say both of you. Again, I was going to say both of you. For all three of you, that first season was so special. And we just love to know, is there a specific moment from the first season that you're just most proud of that made it into the show?
I'd say the fencing scene was a pretty big one for me, especially because we got very little time to actually work on it together. And so we shot it very quickly, considering.
I actually do my stunt of rolling out the dumbwaiter, so that was fun. I'm glad that I got to do that, and they kept that because
That was pretty cool.
yeah,
Amazing.
it was fun.
Yeah, there's got to be something. I quite liked our hug. I was quite nervous to do the hug just because that's obviously a lot for Wednesday, and she makes such a point of, like, you know, no touching or whatever. But it felt very satisfying to film, so,
Yeah.
you know, for the character and all that, so it was great.
For me, just really just showing up, man. Showing up and seeing the wonder of what we were surrounded by, you know, and like watching Tim Burton like navigate us through this whole thing, and the opportunity of reuniting with Catherine, because at that point it was 24 years since we had worked together, and you know, when she just kind of lit me up and put the greatest smile on my face and said, "Girl, here we go, let's rock and roll."
It was great. And for me, it was just, well, yeah, I second what you say, but it's like becoming a part of a movement. Do you know, when we never go to work and go, you know what, let's make a bad show, let's make a bad movie. You never quite know, right? And your attention is to always do good. It was palpable. First of all, to act opposite a pretty much unknown then on an international level, Jenna Ortega. It's like literally watching a flower bloom to the point where I forgot my lines once because I was so mesmerized by it. But and we was just a sprinkling in that, and we literally said to Tim, please do anything to say more. So when these scripts came, and our characters in season 2 were fleshed out and integrated so beautifully within the piece, what we were like.
We were like kids in the candy store.
Yeah.
At this point in our careers, this is just like the biggest bonus. You know, we've got the Charlie, the Willy Wonka gold card here. It's just
no kidding.
so much fun.
And you know, and we honor it, and we relish in it, and we appreciate it, and the love that we get from people out there in this world for doing this kind of show. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better in my life.
The first shot where Wednesday sees Fester for the first time, he takes off his hat. Her reaction is great. It sort of makes my part of it look good. You know, that her reaction is so real.
It's something we love so much about this season, as well as Wednesday having to deal with all the fame. I'm sure she's loving it a lot, of course. You know, for all three of you, when you look at the success of that first season and how it really impacted your lives, were there any parallels to the notoriety that you started getting after?
I feel like it's only been on this press tour that I've actually started to make any sort of connection, because I've heard that, but it's it's very different. I mean, it's school, and I don't really pay attention to it much in my life. I don't know. I guess you could say in theory, but it's never been a focus or like a present force in my day-to-day.
What for yourself?
I'd say I'm a native New Yorker, and there's a lot of New Yorkers, like famous New Yorkers, who like still ride the subway and like, you know, all that jazz. And I'm very much aspiring to be one of them, because I still want to like go to the bodega, and I still want to like go out with my friends and it just be like normal. So I try not to think about it too much.
You mentioned Jenna, and it's so fun to see you both this season, because every time you're on screen together, it feels like a fencing match. It feels like you're always trying to one up one another. So how did you approach mothering someone who does not want to be mothered in this series?
Yeah, it's navigating those treacherous waters, you know. Didn't have that with my daughter, so it was a bit of an acting thing. It's literally on the page. I have to, you know, that's as actors, as you know, if it's not in the pages and if it's not in black and white, it's hard to be, you know, a conjurer. Mm-hmm. It's on the page, and so the nuances of balancing it was the hardest, because we've got 8 hours of this. We cannot be at each other's throats for 8 hours. So for Jenna and I, it was balancing the intensity of this kind of like, you know, this battle. And then I think, you know, at the analogy of eventually doing a sword fight, it's just genius, because verbally, thanks for picking up, and then mentally, it's like a duel. Yeah. And so there we are, we're on the duel, you know, and it was great. But as an actor, just having that much scope of finding Morticia. Usually she's just a caricature and she's cutting off flowers and she's saying quirky lines. Now we see the vulnerability, the intensity of a mother who produced this child Wednesday, you know. It's so much fun.
For yourself, Stephen, joining this season, were you ever conflicted about having fire abilities, being a former firefighter?
No, I thought that was really fun. I thought...
What happened?
So, yeah, I guess we're allowed to say my powers, right? Because I'm a fire starter, you know, which is, yeah. And I used to be a firefighter. So was I going to fight myself? Is that, yeah, I was a little conflicted.
That's
yeah.
Confliction aside.
But I seem to take to it, yeah.
No, you know, seeing that first season, like what made you most excited about joining this world of Wednesday?
Well, I mean, it's an amazing cast led by Tim Burton and the whole Addams Family world. You know, I've been such a fan since I was a kid. And to be able to come in, you know, as the new principal, you know, and I had big shoes to follow, you know, because I was just such a fan of Principal Weems. And my character, you know, he doesn't like Principal Weems, and he wants to sort of establish himself as different from her. So there was a lot of challenges, but it was all fun.
When you look at the art direction in the show, I think it's just one of the most beautiful looking shows on Netflix. And it's one of those series that you just want to get lost in the sets. And I could only imagine for all three of you getting to shoot on location, getting to shoot in scenes like this. Was there a set or an area where you were shooting that you felt the most immersed and helped you feel the most immersed in your own character?
Very good question. Trying to think location-wise, we had a pretty reliable graveyard that was nice and overgrown and mossy, and they just filled it with atmos, so much atmos. It was crowding the streets. I felt so bad for the cars who were driving like at 2 miles per hour trying to, you know, because, and that was very moody and cold and dark. We always shot there at night, and that was a favorite of mine.
Probably the campgrounds for me, because it was the actual set dressing, but then even the holding rooms were like tents, and you know, we had cards and stuff, so it very much felt like we were just at camp.
Love that.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Camp was really, really immersive for all of us. Yeah, you felt like you were actually there. It was really cool.
The room that she shares with Enid, that big window, that's a real practical window. And so I think there was part of it was like sort of colorful on one side, and it was really like that. So
yeah,
I like that it wasn't all digital. But nothing against AI and CGI. Shout out to CGI artists.
Yeah. The scene where we, you know, are doing the big bonfire and the rally for the school was kind of amazing. And I revealed this like huge painting of Wednesday and all the students and just the stage and that whole, you know, with all of the background. It was just huge and so much fun to do.
Is there a moment from this season coming up that you're the most proud of that you cannot wait for people to see?
Episode 7
Yeah.
was very tricky, but I think like I've worked so hard for episode 7, so I think that would be mine.
Right. Well, episode 8 is just some of my favorite footage that we've ever shot. It was very graphic and intense, and the whole family's together. So it was very gratifying seeing them all work together and to shoot those sequences and scenes.
I'd say episode 7 as well. It was just such an affair on everybody's part, and I'm just really happy that everybody came through and made it happen.
That's when we have episode 7 to look forward to.
7 and 8
7 is the one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's hopefully people will be surprised. I mean, as I was, it's like, well, like where are they going to go with this season? And I think the writers, Al and Miles, just came up with a great storyline, and I think it's just going to be a lot of what was. They're just expanding brilliantly on what came out of the first season.
I would say you get to see more of the family. You get to see Pugsley a little more.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just sort of
to school now.
Yeah. Get to explore all that stuff. So
We love that we get to see more of Fester this season, really get inside of his brain, and we get to see a shot of like some of the objects that are inside of his brain, which is really cool. If we were to take an X-ray of your brain right now, Fred, what objects do you hope we would see?
A mug of coffee.
Yeah.
A couple records, some spare glasses, something like that. I keep it really practical.
That's good. Whatever you would need.
Yeah.
If you could choose just one song to maybe get in your head that helped you maybe best get into character, you could, describe, or I guess best relate to one of your characters. Is there a song that comes to mind immediately for each of you?
I just played a lot of Paramore.
Ooh.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Just came out with a new album. Shit.
I know.
Yeah.
So good.
That's so nice. There's a song of school children singing called School at Night. Maybe that. I don't know. I think it's from Suspiria.
Intense.
I actually just realized, and there was this song that I was listening to incessantly while we were shooting. It's like a weird title. It's one of those like that has like a bunch of asterisks and stuff. But it's a Punjabi song, and yeah, it's like love song or love sing. It's something like that. But yeah, it's a really good song.
Give us some music for our playlist.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it all to my list. Louise, you have such a love for your wife. It's so refreshing to see in a show like this. What was it about playing someone that is just so unafraid of their feelings?
Well, I mean, it's a real freedom. It's a real freedom, and it's a true love, and I'm not afraid to hide it. More than anything, I want to always show it. I want to show it to my wife, to my kids, and to myself too. The self-love, and I guess that's really a big engine in me because, again, guys never really get to show that.
No.
Guys never, if you think about it, guys really don't get the opportunity to show that on a consistent level. Gomez does because he's not afraid of love.
Love that. No. Catherine, Louise, thank you both so much for your time today. We had
Thank you
so much
so
fun.
much.
Thank you.
Catherine, just wanted to say that you were our first crush going up, so thank you so much for the Mask of Zorro.
Pleasure. Thank you.
What am I stopping if I am?
You were our
Excuse
second
me,
crush.
Can we just talk? This is my fan
First,
base.
second.
Okay? They have grown up with me.
Okay.
It's not your
still
fault
love
you
you.
weren't in a
We
corset.
do very much. Yeah.
You weren't in a corset fighting Antonio
Yeah,
Banderas.
true.
You cannot take credit for that.
I cannot.
Missed opportunity.
But
Thank
that's
you
okay.
both.
Thank you.
both.